Alexandra meticulously sorted a stack of messy reports that one of the department heads had just delivered. She had been working at her first official job for a week, having recently graduated from university with honors. She had obtained the position as a secretary in this large company, partially thanks to a helpful connection. Her desk was just a few steps away from the office of was not very pleasant. Working at such a prestigious company was essential for Alexandra, almost like air. The director's office door was slightly ajar, and she could see Sherman frowning at his monitor, snorting irritably. Suddenly, his voice boomed. "Where's my coffee?" He appeared in the doorway, resembling an offended bulldog. What do they teach at universities? The first rule for a secretary is to bring fresh coffee for the boss. Then he gestured toward the papers. Alexandra flinched and hurried to her feet. "I'll make it right now, Mr. Sherman," she whispered, but her voice was lost in his loud snorts. "Why are you always mumbling? Speak clearly and move faster. Bring those documents here," he barked, waving toward her desk where she had neatly arranged the documents. Someone behind a partition snickered, pleased with his morning scolding of the timid newcomer. Sherman walked through the office, shouting playful commands to other employees. Alexandra grabbed the folder, carried it into his office, and then hurried to the kitchen to make him coffee. She still struggled to adjust to his constant nitpicking and petty humiliations. Returning with the steaming cup, she froze. All the carefully arranged documents were scattered around his desk as if someone had deliberately thrown them down. Sherman leaned on the desk with both hands, smirking at her. "Not only a mumbler, but a clumsy one," he mocked. "Can't even deliver documents to the desk?" I put everything on the desk," she whispered almost pleadingly. He snorted. "Pick them up, and while you crawl around, think about how to earn my favor." At that moment, two department heads entered, Peter and Nicholas. Seeing Alexandra on her knees, they cleared their throats meaningfully. "What a gymnast," Nicholas smirked. "Raising them right, Iggy. She belongs on the carpet, not here," Peter joked. Alexandra, her face flaming, clenched her teeth in quiet indignation, picked up the papers, and ran to the restroom to catch her breath. Her mascara was intact, and her young, delicate face stared back at her from the mirror. She tied her naturally voluminous hair into a tight bun. She was modest and shy, but resolute inside. "I need this job," she whispered to her reflection. "This is my first official work record. Whatever they do, I won't back down. I promised myself I would manage and prove I can do it." Memories of the previous late evening returned, when she had stayed in the office long after everyone else left. The last employee had departed, and Sherman approached her desk. "Well, shy little mimosa." His voice was sly, his eyes predatory. Your career depends on me. 2 paths. Either grind like the rest, he gestured toward the rows of desks, or take the short route to the top. Alexandra stood tall. I choose the first, she said firmly, staring into his pale eyes. She wiped the remnants of tears and returned to her desk, determination rising within her. Over the past few days, she had been reviewing all reports and comparing raw data to departmental submissions. The discrepancy shocked her. Numbers inflated, final reports unreliable. She began quietly questioning employees, pretending to seek guidance, learning the hidden truth about the workplace chaos. Peter and Nicholas, in particular, were manipulating the reports. Employees, encouraged by management, did the bare minimum, hiding mistakes or falsifying figures. Alexandra's observations slowly created a full picture. Sitting at her desk, she began organizing the data methodically, preparing to confront the inaccuracies. Her dream of a big career was no longer naive. She now knew exactly what steps to take. One morning, Sherman was unusually energetic, issuing rapid orders, making employees move frantically. They requested the half-year report, whispered someone passing by. Soon Sherman called Alexandra into his office. Prepare a presentation on company achievements. Focus on Peter and Nicholas. Use previous templates. Update with fresh data. Ready by lunch. Alexandra retrieved past presentations and began inserting the newly collected figures. She caught Peter and Nicholas in the break room, smirking as they discussed their usual manipulation. Alexandra now clearly understood. It wasn't mere negligence, it was conspiracy. Back at her desk, she cross-checked every figure against the database, horrified by the extent of distortions, particularly in Peter and Nicholas's reports. By lunchtime, she submitted the presentation to Sherman, who immediately began nitpicking over trivial mistakes. Alexandra's hands trembled as she meticulously verified every number, every letter. The director left early, claiming the next day would be hectic. Alone, she continued working, knowing that accuracy and perseverance were her only weapons in a corrupt environment. The next morning, Alexandra arrived early, setting up the projector for the meeting. Employees trickled into the conference room. At precisely 9, Nicholas Dubrovin, the company owner, entered, commanding presence and gray hair giving him authority. Sherman guided him to the head of the table, then returned to present. He confidently began, "Colleagues, today we review yet another successful half-year." On the screen, instead of the fabricated graphs, the real data appeared. A red line traced steadily downward, labeled revenue decline. Employees exchanged stunned glances. Some whispered, some paled. Sherman's confident voice faltered as he noticed their expressions. Finally, he turned to the screen, realizing the truth had been exposed. Alexandra watched silently, heart pounding. Her meticulous work had revealed the real situation. Humiliation, deception, and office politics had been exposed through her diligence. Though the room was tense, she felt a surge of quiet satisfaction. She had done the right thing, proving her capability, courage, and integrity. From that moment, she was no longer just a timid secretary. She was an observer, a strategist, and someone who could quietly change the course of events in her company.